Every decision starts with a direction. Welcome to the Inner Compass podcast show. I am your host, Jackson Ogo, and today we're exploring the power of resilience, how we rise, recover, and keep moving forward, even when life pushes back. Let's dive in. Invisible and unbroken. Rain-slicked streets glistened under a flickering streetlight. Adam tugged his thin coat tighter around his shoulders. His cardboard bed under an abandoned storefront offered little comfort, yet it was home for tonight. He remembered the job he lost, the apartment he got evicted from, the friends who drifted away. Each loss could have broken him, yet he was still here, still moving, still surviving. The world saw him as invisible, but Adam knew the truth. Resilience isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about standing up, again and again, even when no one is watching. With soaked shoes and a heavy backpack, he took his first step down the empty street. Today would be another battle, but he had fought many before. Resilience wasn't something he had practiced. It was the only thing keeping him alive. What does resilience mean to you personally? And can resilience exist without struggle? Resilience is the inner strength that allows one to adapt and keep moving forward, despite challenges, setbacks, or stressful situations. It can show up as perseverance, flexibility, or even a form of endurance, and it grows stronger the more we face life's tests. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain or hardship, it's about how we respond to it. Struggle is often soil in which resilience grows. Without facing challenges, there may be little need to adapt or bounce back, so the quality of your resilience might remain dormant. That said, resilience isn't only forged through trauma. It can also be nurtured proactively by daily habits that strengthens the mindset, facing small challenges consistently, and learning from mistakes, failures, or discomfort. Resilience isn't a concept you read about or admire from a distance. Sometimes it meets you in the worst moments of your life, when there's nowhere to run or no version of the future to feel safe. For me, that moment came several years ago, sitting in the back of a car for the second time. Red and blue lights sliced through the night, blinding my already intoxicated eyes. My heart pounded as my mind raced through every possible outcome of a second DUI. This wasn't just fear, it was the weight of everything crashing down at once. I was in my final years of college, learning how to adult, carrying expectations placed on me as a black man, while dragging the sack of childhood trauma I had spent years pretending didn't exist. Failure wasn't an option, not from my mom who saw me as a success story, not from my family, not from my younger brother who believed I had it all figured out. I was a favorite child, the first to graduate college. I couldn't become anything less than who they believed me to be. And yet, there I was, one bad decision made twice, watching my car get towed, my degree feeling worthless, and my future slipping through my fingers. That night felt like the end of my life. But years later, I see it differently. That moment didn't end me. It redirected me. It became the stepping stone towards building the man I always knew I was. Beneath the pressure, the trauma, and the expectations. The man I am today was shaped by those failures, refined by the lessons, and strengthened by the wisdom earned from them. Resilience is choosing to become better, not because the world expects it, but because you finally do. Resilience doesn't ask for perfection, it asks for consistency. And consistency is built through small daily habits that increases our ability to adapt when life shifts, because it always does. Adaptability isn't something you turn on in a crisis. It's something you train for in ordinary moments. The way you respond to stress, disappointment, or pressure today is shaped by the habits you practice when things feel manageable. So let's talk about what that actually looks like in real life. During your morning check-ins, ask yourself, what's one thing I can control today? This question helps to anchor your focus before the chaos of the day sets in. I will control my reaction to negativity today. I will be empathetic, sympathetic, patient, and understanding with people today. During honest self-talk, Pay attention to the way you speak to yourself when things don't go as planned. Most of us jump straight to "I'm failing" or "I messed everything up." That kind of language shuts growth down. Instead, practice replacing "I'm failing" with "I'm learning." That shift doesn't excuse a mistake, it reframes it. It keeps you accountable without turning the moment into a personal attack. And during your daily reflections at the end of the day, take 5 quiet minutes. No phones, no distractions, and reflect on how the day actually went. Instead of focusing on everything that went wrong, ask yourself one simple question. What's one challenge I could have handled better than I would have before? It doesn't have to be a big win. Maybe you paused before reacting. Maybe you didn't spiral like you usually do. Maybe you showed yourself a little bit more patience. Those moments matter. Imagine someone you care deeply about starts to pull away. Text slow down, call stop, no explanation, just distance. Version 1 of yourself, you tell yourself, "I wasn't enough, I did something wrong." You replay every conversation, you internalize the silence, you close yourself off, guarded the next time someone gets close. The situation becomes proof that the connection wasn't safe. Version 2 of yourself, you tell yourself, "This hurts, but it doesn't define my worth." You acknowledge the loss, you reflect without self-blame. You learn what you need, what you deserve, and how you want to show up in future relationships. The same experience becomes clarity instead of closure. Nothing about the situation changed. They still walked away. The silence still happened. What changed was the meaning you gave it. One story created shame, the other created growth. That's what reframing does. It doesn't erase the pain, but it decides whether pain becomes a prison or a teacher. Resilience isn't about never failing. It's about learning how to rise with more wisdom each time. Before we close, let's take a moment to reflect. Today we talked about resilience, not as a buzzword, but as a lived experience. We explored how resilience is built through struggle, strengthened by small daily habits, and sustained by honest self-talk. We talked about reframing challenges, not to deny pain, but to transform it into growth. And most importantly, we reminded ourselves that resilience isn't about being unbreakable. It's about being adaptable. Resilience shows up in quiet moments, in self-reflection, in choosing to learn instead of giving up, and becoming better one decision at a time. In next episode, we'll take the next step. In episode 13, Courage, Taking Meaningful Risks, we explore what happens after resilience, when staying safe is no longer enough and growth requires action. We'll explore how courage isn't fearlessness, but movement despite fear, the kind of risks that align with who you're becoming and not who you've been. Because resilience helps you survive the storm. Courage helps you step forward once it passes. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.